Lads and lassies, so the proposed date for Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders, right? We heard two dates last week, okay? We heard the 1st of May and we heard the 8th of May, all right? Providing all goes well with Canelo versus Gilder, you know my stance on that. You know I think Canelo's going to win the fight, but say he gets injured or something like that, hurts his hand or something like that, all according to plan, it was the 1st or the 8th of May for the Billy Joe fight. We're hearing now from Eddie Hearn that's more likely to be the 8th of May. So May the 8th is likely when we're getting Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe. Alright? Now I'm happy, I think that's a decent fight. Alright? I've no complaints with that. The only issue is that is the purported date for Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor, undisputed fight at 140 pounds. And that is a fight that I desperately want to see. I think it's a fantastic fight. It's undisputed, but not just the fact that it's for undisputed. I think the styles are going to gel together very well. People are jumping the gun and they're thinking that this is a foregone conclusion for Josh Taylor. Whilst I will be picking Josh Taylor to win the fight, I think a lot of people are just looking at some of the bad performances from Jose Ramirez that he's had in the past, you know, like the Victor Postal fight, like the Jose Zepeda fight. They're looking at that and they're thinking, you know, oh, this guy's going to be cannon fodder for, you know, Josh Taylor. Jose Ramirez is a very, very game fighter. He's very good. You know, I remember when I watched his fight against Maurice Hooker, I was extremely impressed with Ramirez in that fight. That was a unification as well. I think that was for Hooker's WBO title. And I was extremely, extremely impressed with how Ramirez looked in that fight. I mean, he won, from, in my opinion, every round, boxed brilliantly, and he ended it emphatically. You know, it wasn't a brutal knockout, but it was the way he was able to buzz Hooker with the left hook, get him up against the ropes, and Hooker was out on his feet the minute he went up against the ropes. Referee stopped the fight. Jose Ramirez is a very good fighter. Very, very, very good fighter. I think him and Josh Taylor put on a great show. Alright, I think that fight is fantastic. It's a fight that I really want to see. And I really hate it when we have these big fights on similar dates. Remember we had it with the UFC, right? We had Masvidal. Was that Masvidal versus Diaz? Or who was it? Was it Masvidal? Because I'm a pure, I'll admit it, I'm a casual MMA guy. I don't really know. I know Masvidal was one of the fighters. It might have been Nate Diaz was the other one. They fought in around about the same time as Canelo Kovalev was meant to happen, right? I remember that. I was up till bloody 7 in the morning. I didn't sleep a wink. I covered that fight, thinking that fight would be done over and done with by about 5 o'clock, so I could at least get a bit of sleep. It was already bright by the time, like, you know, the fight was done. So that was annoying. I remember that. Things like that can be annoying. Do you remember when Frampton fought Warrington and they had Chisora White 2 on the same time? For me, I like it. I'd love it if they were able to do something where one was on one time, one was on. A bit like what they were purporting to do with Spence versus Garcia. And I think, if memory serves me correct, right, it was meant to be Spence versus Garcia, I think on the 1st of December. And we were also meant to have Ryan Garcia, because remember that fight got pushed back to January. We were meant to have Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell on that day. Now, I know it was Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. I could be wrong about the Spence Garcia, but it was definitely another fight. And what they ended up doing, what the plan was for the Garcia Campbell fight to happen at afternoon time in the US, so normal time for us over here in Europe. Well, when I say normal time, I mean like 11 o'clock at night, but that's normal for like Sky Fight nights and BT Fight nights. So that was the plan for that, and then for the card after that to happen at, you know, normal American kind of fight time, whichever. I think you guys in America, someone want to correct me on it, but I think you guys do it at what, like 9 or 10 at night time, in around that. I think you do it a little bit earlier than we do, because we have sometimes ring walks that are after 11 o'clock, you know, and they're in the UK. You know, it's not unheard of, depending on how long the undercard takes. But I'd love it if they'd done something like that. I think, personally, if they're content, if Bob Arum and Top Rank are content to have this fight on the 8th and go up against Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders, going up against Canelo is a losing battle. Alright, it just is. It's just, to me, that's a losing battle. You know, very few fighters could really go up against Canelo, and even then, they're probably not gonna come out on top. So, do I want to see that card get rescheduled? Ideally, I'd like to see it, you know, in around that time frame. If they bring it forward a week or back a week, I don't really mind. But if they could do something like what they were purporting to do with the Ryan Garcia card, that would be... You see, that, I think they might start doing that moving forward. Because even though even though Garcia Campbell got pushed back, the zone very kindly, very kindly, that was the first real show for the UK audience, UK and Ireland. It was the first real show. I know they had Callum Smith versus Canelo on, but this was the first real proper show that they were doing, that we could all really see in the new year. And they done that, very kindly, normal time for us, early time for America. I wonder if ESPN and Bob Arum would do that. I can't see them doing it. Canelo's fight will be late. That's an evening fight. They ain't going to bring that one early. I wonder would they do something similar for Taylor Ramirez. All right, I'd be up for it because I want to see both fights. I want to see Saunders versus Canelo, fight I want to see, but God, I want to see Ramirez versus Taylor. I think that's a great fight. All right, I would make Josh Taylor favorite, but do not sleep on Jose. That 140 division. Okay, if you look at that division in a nutshell, Taylor, Ramirez, Zepeda, Baranchek still knocking her out, Prograis. You got guys like who could move up like Teofimo, Garcia. What's the guy's name? Garcia. What's the Haney? Good guys like that. That division is solid. 140. And it's in good hands. So I want to see undisputed at that weight class. I want to see Taylor versus Ramirez. I think it's a great fight. So let me know your thoughts. Which would you, if you had to, which would you take? If they were both on, right, these fights going out, maybe a half hour of the difference. If you had to, which one would you take? Me personally, it's a toughie. Ask me at my live stream this evening. I'm plugging it. There you go, I'm plugging it. Your boy's plugging it. Ask me at my live stream this evening, I'll let you know. But for now, lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you did. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, if you enjoy the content. Hashtag GMansRocks, all that good stuff. Wherever you are watching this, I hope you are all well. I hope you're having a great week. And if it's not, it will get better. Trust me. I'll talk to you. Peace.